By first light on the second day, we were heading through the gates of Yellowstone and up the Gardner River, ready for a full day exploring the park. At this early hour, nobody was about except for a lone bull elk guarding the Mammoth Hot Springs. It was still a little chilly out, but climbing all those stairs on the boardwalk got us warmed up in a hurry. None of the kids had been to Yellowstone before, and when it's your first visit to the park, the Mammoth Hot Springs is a pretty impressive sight. I don't know if it was the hot spring fumes, or food poisoning, or too much time in the car, but Mathen wasn't feeling well, and he dropped out of the hike. The rest of us continued on, enjoying the morning sun reflecting off the hot spring formations as we circled around the boardwalks. The kids quickly discovered that with all the sulfur fumes around the thermal features, you could pass gas and nobody would notice, a fact that Allison took full advantage of. Having seen enough of the hot springs, we jumped in the car to find more adventure. A one-way drive through a Boulder Field sounded fun, so we headed in, windows down, cameras ready, and were thoroughly disgusted to find ourselves at a stop sign back at the main road after only one turn. A few miles more brought us to a day-use area along the Gardner River and a short trail leading down to the Sheep-Eater Cliffs. The trail wasn't maintained, but the challenge of clambering over all those downed logs just added to the fun for the kids. After admiring the basalt columns and watching marmots playing in the rocks, we drove down to the Roaring Mountain, which was roaring. Then it was on to the Norris Geyser Basin, a very impressive area, lots of colors, lots of steam rising, and the kids found plenty of opportunities to snap pictures as we circled the boardwalks through the thermal features. Steamboat Geyser, the world's tallest at 300 plus feet, was pretty active, and we thought maybe we'd be lucky enough to see it go off. But no, as it turned out, it erupted 3 days after we were there. Instead, we had to settle for a few steaming fumaroles and bubbling mud pots. Palpitator Spring was fun to watch, as its regular release of gas bubbles created an expanding ripple across the pool that looked very much like a heartbeat. The next stop on the itinerary was Gibbon Falls, which was absolutely beautiful. And then in the afternoon, we left Mathen in the car while we took a hike up to Monument Basin, steep, hot climb up an open ridge. We knew there wasn't much to see at the top. Most of the thermal activity in this area had dried up, but it was a chance to get out and see some of the backcountry and get away from the road for a while. Not much to see here, so back down the ridge we went, doing our best to stay upright on the steep, slippery trail. We put Corbin in the lead, just in case we ran into any bears. We figured he'd be the best to fight them off. Our next stop was Artist's Paint Pots, but Abby slammed her little finger in the door of the car, and that put a halt to any more sightseeing. We headed back to the RV park, played a little mini golf, and called it a day.